It looks like the new raid in WoW, we haven't really talked about this a whole lot because I haven't been playing it a whole lot, but by 9 weeks of Amyrdrasil, the number of Mythic Farok kills was under 100. By this point in Aberrus, there were already over 300 kills of Sarkareth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What game is this? Yeah, I wonder why. I think that Dragonflight of Myrdrasil, current time frame from launch today is week 9 of the patch, and these are the kills. This is the last boss, second to last boss, third to last boss. There's a massive drop-off in kills between these bosses. Well, yeah, I mean, it goes from like fucking like 900 to 200. I mean, these bosses are really hard. It's not really that big of a surprise, is it? This time in Aberrus, the 9th week is on Wednesday, so you take a look at this, right? Sarkareth, Echo of Neltharion, and you can see very clearly that, like, there's a much better gradation of, like, people that are going from different bosses. Smolderon and Tendral blow Farak out of the water. It's just a shit boss. I mean... Oh, my camera has it? Yeah. Sorry, I forgot it was up at the top there. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can see right here, a lot of people are killing the last boss, and, look at Raszageth as well. Raszageth was pretty fucking hard, too. I think Raszageth was extremely hard, so it makes sense. And I think, obviously, Jailer was even harder. But, I don't really know exactly, like, why this kind of stuff is happening. But it looks like WoW is, I'm not sure if people are, like, raiding less. It seems like people are probably... There's probably even more people raiding. It's just that these bosses are too fucking hard. Like, that's what it comes down to. They're just too fucking hard. The fights aren't fun. Yeah. One-shot wipe mechanics suck. Yep. One-shot wipes on Mythic are fine. I think that they're okay if, like, the entire group does something wrong. But the problem with, like, Mythic wipes, and this has always been the issue, it's like, remember on Mythic Star Augur, whenever if one person made one wrong connection, it would instantly wipe the raid. Well, it wouldn't instantly wipe the raid. It would put a debuff on the raid to make everybody take 200% more damage. So it would basically wipe the raid. So that's really the problem. It's like these constant checkpoints of every single member in the raid needing to perform an action, and if there's a mistake in that chain, the entire raid wipes. That's, I think, what the problem is. That's indicative of the amount of players raiding in general, or just difficulty of the final boss. It's looking like the difficulty of the final boss, and it's not necessarily because of the raid itself. And you've got some people talking about this. Cope this post is called by Aberrus being more fun. Raid is fucking insane. It's literally just that Aberrus was very easy, and Tendral and Farak are major roadblocks that should have gotten nerfed nerfed by now, if not earlier. I'm going to go ahead and give, like, kind of a hot take on this. I don't think that Blizzard should have to do nerfs. I think the Blizzard strategy of having to continuously readjust boss mechanics over and over and over is a tremendous waste of time, and they should have just made the bosses that are fair and well designed at the beginning and not have to massively nerf them. Because what Blizzard does is they're effectively making two versions of Mythic Raiding. They're making the top 50 World Guild version of Mythic Raiding and the casual player version of Mythic Raiding. I think that's outrageous. It's insane. I would love if they could just go back to making the raids like challenging but fun. I don't feel like there's any fun aspect of it. It's just challenging and hard and punishing. The race is super fun to watch at this difficulty, though. Solution? Well, who cares about the race? The race goes on for a week and then that's it. Like, do you think Blizzard should design raiding around the raid race? That's insane. Like, absolutely not. They shouldn't do that. Blizzard forgot the fun whenever they're making the raids? Yeah. Normal and heroic version raids were all we ever needed? Yeah, I think so too. It's the same as Final Fantasy Ultimate's hardest content should not allow deaths. Differences in WoW. Do it for BIS. Final Fantasy does it for cosmetics. Well, also, like, with Final Fantasy raids and with WoW, it's very different because you're comparing 8 players versus 20. Like, you basically have, like, a scaling acceptable level of fuck-ups with the amount of people that you have. So, like, if you're playing solo, it's reasonable that one mistake might cause you to die. But if you're playing with 20 people, If one mistake causes people to die at that same ratio, you're never going to get anything done. So it depends on what happens. Stop trying to make WoW an esport. Yeah, exactly. Isn't this a then just don't do it situation? Then just don't do the raid if it's not fun. Yeah, I mean, sure, right? I mean, people just don't do it. I mean, that's fine, but I just feel like just don't play the game. I don't really think is a great argument, is it? I mean, I'm not. Like, I'm not raiding. Like, it's not like I'm raiding every week and complaining about it. I'm not doing it because it's not fun, and I'm giving my opinion as to why I'm not doing it. Why are they spending resources to make content for the 0.1%? I don't know. Final boss entire expansion is more difficult than final boss of the intermediate raid tier. How unexpected. Yeah. I just think that WoW, like, there's so much of a focus on making the game as hard as possible, man. Like, I think it's just there's just way too much stuff in the game. It's crazy. What was the last raid that you had fun doing? It depends, because, like, a lot of that is based off of, like, my stream. And so, like, I don't really know if I could give a good answer to that, because, like, whenever I raided for fun, back in, like, Legion and WoD and before then, I wasn't really streaming, so it was, like, a very different paradigm for me. It's hard for me to say. Eternal Palace? Well, I had fun doing Nilotha with, like, those corruption raids. Those were really cool. And I liked Vault of the Incarnates. I thought that was a good raid. It was okay. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's perfect, right? But there were good things about it. I liked the raid. Aberrus, I think, was a good raid. I just didn't really do it a lot. I wasn't really playing WoW at that point. But yeah. Denathrius? Yeah, Castle Nathria was fun. Sure. Do you think you'll make a hardcore comeback? No. I only really played hardcore WoW because I thought people were going to... I thought I was going to raid with that guild. And whenever I found out I wasn't really going to raid with them, I just stopped playing. Yeah, that was about it. Like, I don't really give a shit about it that much. Like, I get that some people like hardcore, but for me, like, you have to understand that, like, the reason why I play video games is to avoid everything that hardcore WoW is built off of. That is the one thing that I don't want. I don't want to have stress or pressure or tension or, like, a focus or anything like that. Isn't LFR super easy? It feels like retail gives players the options for easy casual content and hardcore hard content. Yeah, I just don't really think that's a good way to make a game. I don't think that the best way to make a game is to just add in the same fights, but just make everything do no damage. It's bad design. It's also useless. Like, the gear doesn't matter. It's like, it's whatever. Normal raids are easy. Yeah, I think normal raids are easy for people that have played the game 15 years, but I think you should look at it from the perspective of a new person. Yeah, LFR should give weenie gear. Well, I think so too. I don't think LFR should exist. I think you should just have normal and heroic. Make normal a little bit easier. Make heroic maybe about probably the same difficulty, maybe a little bit harder. And just start with that. That's it. You seen a Monster Hunter World TikTok? No, I haven't seen that. Hardcore was nice for its temporariness. Yeah, I mean, you just don't want to be inconvenienced. Yeah, I don't want to be inconvenienced. You're basically right about that. Like, I don't want to play a video game and have my time wasted arbitrarily. Like, for example, if I'm playing a game and then, like, I lose my character because somebody else made a mistake, like, I have that happen and I'm not having fun playing the game anymore. Like, I don't feel like I made a mistake. Or let's say I did make a mistake. Let's say I did something wrong. Do I want to be punished that much for playing just because I made a mistake in a video game? No, I really just don't. Like, I play video games to relax. I play them for fun. And to the extent that a video game includes, like, extreme punishments for lapses in focus or lapses in decision making, I'm not going to have fun playing that game, because I play video games so I can make those lapses in my focus, and I can just kind of lean back in my chair and play a game and just chill out. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to have, like, moments of intensity, right? I mean, like in Monster Hunter, right? I mean, you fight a boss, it's hard, and then it's over. And that's it. But, like, all the time, I just don't find that to be a fun thing to do. That's all there is to it. So you're punished by your guild for not wearing the tabard? Yeah, true. At a base, I'm over the stress bullshit. That's for young people. But Amir just has way more parses and participation in Aberrus. Does mean the game's kind of doing better for content? Well, I didn't say the game was bad. That's not my point. Well, I did in a way, but I said the last bosses are too hard. Never played Tarkov them, and yes, I've hate my life. Well, it's not really that. Like, for me, so, whenever I play a video game, I'm getting something out of that video game in my mind, right? It's like a dopamine simulator where, like, I'm playing the game, I'm feeling good about playing the game, I'm making progress in the game, I'm happy, and I want to keep having that feeling. But then whenever I die in the game, or I lose a substantial amount of progress, that reward structure in my brain is gone. I'm no longer feeling good about the game. I'm no longer feeling like I'm playing something and I'm working towards something. I'm feeling like I'm wasting my time. And why would I want to waste my time? There's no reason. You want to have fun and not be stressed over it. Yeah, exactly. Weird to me that you like Dark Souls games while explaining this. Well, no, because it's a like Dark Souls, Monster Hunter, other games like this. These are games of temporary periods of intensity. So, like, yeah, I have to be focused whenever I'm fighting Gale or Melania or something like that. But all the rest of the time, bro, I'm AFK. I'm chilling, bro. Like, I'm riding around on that fucking horse, bro. I just find where the fuck I go over here, right? Yeah, it's whatever. Should games have no risk? Well, I don't think that there's necessarily no risk. It's just that if the risk... So basically, for me, it's backwards progression. Like, whenever I lose progress that I made in order to, like, move forward, now I have to retread my own steps again. Now I like, it's not just a fail state of not succeeding, but it's like losing what you had beyond failing on its own. Then I no longer feel like I'm spending my time in a good way. That's it. You gotta risk it for the grand payoff, but, like, not really, because the payoff is just nothing, because it's a video game and it doesn't matter. So, like, there is no real payoff to me. It's just that I'm playing this and I'm not having fun. So that's it. Like, I mean, there's no... That's it. Is that why you're not a big fan of survival games like Minecraft? Sometimes, yeah. But you loved Elden Ring, and that's literally what Elden Ring is. Have you, have you played Elden Ring? Maybe you haven't. And so, like, you don't really get it. But, like, no, it's not like Elden Ring. Yeah, no, it's just not. At all. Like... The only example that you can use that would make sense for Elden Ring is in Demon Souls. Old King Allant, the last boss, can do an ability that will suck one level away from your character. That is the only time that you can actually make negative progress in any of the Souls games. That's it. I think that's it. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that's it. You lose souls? Well, you lose souls, you do. But I don't view, like, and this is the thing, right? Is that whenever I'm talking about, like, how you lose souls, was basically losing experience, you can, but you can never lose more than, like, one level of souls, and farming souls is very fast. So, like, if I lose my souls, I can also just go and get them back, right? Number one, I can go get them back. And number two... farming them again is usually very fast. It takes, like, maybe 10 minutes at the most to get your souls. For you, yeah, I think so. So, for me, I never, like, because I'll always try to level up, and so I'm never going to have more souls than it would take for me to do a level up. So, that doesn't really happen to me. Losing souls, like dropping your currency, not losing progress? Yeah, exactly. Genuine question, WoW raid design allow you to dislike team fights because the amount of time lost whenever others fucked up? Oh, yeah, a little bit. But yeah, and also, like, a big factor with this kind of stuff is, it's how it makes me feel. Whenever I die in Dark Souls, I don't feel like the game has wasted my time. And whenever I die in a game like Hardcore WoW, I do feel like the game has wasted my time. And it's a very emotional response. So I can explain it to you, and you can try to like rationalize why I'm wrong. You can do that all you want. But at the end of the day, I feel like my time is wasted, and I don't want to play it anymore. It's that simple. Like, it's not going to change the way I feel.